Hello, this is Tony Heller from realclimatescience.com. In this video, I'm going to discuss several different techniques used by climate scamsters. This image is from the Union of Concerned Scientists. They're scientists and they're concerned. They call this black cloud carbon pollution, but what we're actually seeing is a shadow behind condensed water vapor. This is no different than any other black clouds with the sun behind them. No serious person would be ridiculous enough to describe these black clouds as being carbon pollution. And then the US government takes the scam one step further and describes it as climate pollution. And NASA has taken the scam one step further and now shows carbon dioxide as being an opaque, yellow, dirty-looking gas. Martin Nunes tweeted, "These images on CO2 pollution are thought-provoking, especially for people in the southern hemisphere." So I responded to Martin and attempted to bring him back to reality. Carbon dioxide is a colorless, odorless gas which forms the basis of all life on Earth. The climate scam relies on people who didn't pay attention to their primary school science. In order for green plants to grow, they need chlorophyll in their leaves, sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water. They get their energy from the sun, and they grow using carbon dioxide and water to create carbohydrates. Students used to learn this by the time they were 7 or 8 years old. Someone didn't like me pointing this out, and they posted this response to my tweet. Robin Bedford said, "It also has an asymmetric stretching frequency at 2339 reciprocal centimeters, the significance of which eludes people without significant post-high school science education." Robin is using several different techniques which I frequently see used by climate scamsters. The first thing he's trying to do is change the subject away from simple, easy-to-understand science. The second thing he's trying to do is convince me that I'm really ignorant unless I let him change the subject and I follow him down his silly rabbit hole. But I didn't take the bait. I responded with, again, some basic science. I pointed out that the greatest expansion of life on Earth occurred 540 million years ago, with carbon dioxide levels 15 times higher than they are now. The point I was making is that whatever Robin's theory is, we know from the historical record that life does extremely well at higher levels of CO2. Robin responded quite predictably. Standard undergraduate tips on how to give an answer to a question that you don't understand 101. Pretend a different point was raised and answer that one instead. You never know, you might get some marks for you working. This is fairly typical projection from climate scamsters. He was attempting to change the subject away from basic science and attempting to make me feel ignorant for not letting him do that. He, of course, doesn't want to discuss basic science and the historical record because it doesn't support his scam. Robin may be convinced that carbon dioxide is opaque, but it's pretty difficult to take him seriously. Let's take a look at some actual science about carbon dioxide. In 1920, Scientific American demonstrated experimentally that they could greatly increase crop yields by pumping carbon dioxide from industrial facilities into the air over the growing crops. They called this process fertilizing the air. In 1922, German scientist Dr. Riedel said our inability to grow enough food was the world's greatest problem. And he said the way to solve this problem was by fertilizing the air with carbon dioxide. This has been demonstrated experimentally over and over again. NASA shows that carbon dioxide fertilization has greened the earth over the last few decades. Crop yields have skyrocketed to record highs as carbon dioxide levels have increased. Climate scamsters call it carbon pollution because people associate carbon with black and dirty. But this is where our carbon is actually stored, in plant matter like this redwood forest in California. Carbon dioxide is not toxic, it's not visible, it's not pollution, and it forms the basis of all life on Earth. Every time people exhale, they exhale 40,000 parts per million carbon dioxide. If the carbon dioxide was visible, people would be surrounded by a dark cloud all the time. Toto has been pulling back the curtain on the climate scam for the past 15 years. You can visit him, Kyrie Caesar, Toki Upala, and the 4 new puppies on the web at realclimatescience.com.